All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. Excuse the voice here. It's winter in Western New York and dealing with a little bit of seasonalities here. If you guys are upstate or in the north, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so today, market's getting a nice rally here. So S&P up 0.8%. NASDAQ getting the biggest bounce. It is the most oversold as of yesterday, so not surprising to see it outperforming a little bit here. And the Fed did say today that they could get a little bit more aggressive as far as hiking rates. So why is the market up? Well, it's just a technical bounce. So we're just seeing follow through. Yesterday we talked about this level here of support and the 200 moving average here on the composite. And but by the way, remember when I said that we bought the dip on a few things? Absolutely crushing it right now on some of those names. We just took 15% on SE. We took 8.2% on Peloton. That's when we had a little bit longer, but absolutely crushing it here, up now 2.84% in the first 7 trading days of the year here. So we're absolutely smoking it right now. If you bought 2 shares of SE, you would have paid for a year of membership. It's only $5 a month right now. And hey, if we keep crushing it like this, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep it $5 a month for new members. So if you want to get in on that, get in soon. We're absolutely smoking the market right now here. At 15% in just one day, and we're also nicely in the money on a few other trades here. But anyways, overall nice bounce for the market. Resistance here on the composite. Going to be this trend line here. So obviously you broke down through that, and so it would make sense that this would be resistance on the other side. You also have the 100 MA and the 20 MA that is now downsloping right above that. So even if you pierce it a little bit, you'll probably have a little resistance there. On the S&P, your levels here are about 472. That's where you broke down, and if you get up through that, maybe 474. So there is resistance up here on the S&P. The Dow is the strongest of the 4 major indices. That's probably going to have resistance right here on that 365 handle on the diamond. And then the Russell 2000, I've got about 222 or so. That's kind of where you broke down right in there. So that would be resistance. Also could be the Russell's a little bit weaker. It could be these pivots here, maybe 220.50 or so on the IWM. In any case, let's talk about some sectors here. So obviously tech getting the biggest bounce. Semiconductors up 1.8, nice move there. Still hasn't cleared this red bar high yet. If it can do that, then maybe you can go up and attack that 310, 312 area. NVIDIA getting a nice bounce today. AMD as well. So nice move there for some of those semiconductors. Cloud software finally getting a bid here. This thing has just been trounced. Take a look at the weekly here. Got right into this kind of support zone. This is where you were supposed to break down. Eventually it reversed and went higher. So getting a bounce there on IGV. A lot of cloud stocks hit some key levels yesterday. Adobe, look at that move on Adobe. Look at that reversal yesterday. CRM, nice follow through there. Net, Cloudflare. This is one I was hoping to get. I had my eye on this 96, 97 handle for quite some time, really this whole way down. I was looking for it, and it just didn't get there, but nice bounce on Cloudflare. Oh, ARC, by the way, this is one that I was looking at, $80. I had a nice technical level there, and I just didn't see it. I mean, there were so many things hitting levels yesterday. It was hard to find all of them, but a lot of these names just getting really nice bounces and really oversold going into major support. So tech getting a bid, obviously. Let's look at energy, XLE. So I do have some. I did get some word that there is a lot of dark print selling going on the XLE, and this is a trick they use. They'll gamma squeeze it on the front end, and then they'll dark pool sell it the next day. They do this very often on Tesla. This is exactly what they did here. So they had that news come out on Sunday night. It gapped up, it gamma squeezed, and then they just absolutely exited the back door. They did this on Ford as well. Although Ford starting to print a bullish pattern, I am not liking Ford though. It is into, if we can find it here. This is major resistance on Ford. Going back to what, 2001. So that's, look at how extended this is. So I would say that the likelihood of this bull flag actually playing out is very low. But anyways, they did this to Ford. They actually did this to GameStop a few times. In fact, recently, this little pop here on GameStop, that's what that was. It was just a gamma squeeze, and then they got out the back door and sold it off. But that is something to be, just watch for. So XLE, XOP, OIH, all having nice days, but just be careful of them. If yields continue to pull back, these stocks are not going to continue higher, at least in the near term. Let's look at crude. So crude, again, this is looking a little extended to me, at least near term. I think this needs to pull back. I'm not a, I think it had to do. I think it has to do a little bit more backing and filling. I think this is going to reverse probably pretty soon. It's got a lot of resistance up here, and it has not done enough backing and filling, in my opinion, to get through this. Now, if the volume really increases and we get a major surge, then maybe you can do that. But I'm thinking crude just near term is a little long in the tooth. But we'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. Nat gas also getting a nice bid. I said that yesterday it could possibly trade up to that 50 MA. I still think this is ultimately a counter trend rally. I still think nat gas has another dip in it, but it's holding up for now, and we'll just continue to monitor it there. Dow Transports, not really a whole lot going on. Did test this lower support area again and got a nice bounce. Rails are down pretty sharply. The airline stocks are doing okay, though, and that's kind of helping out. Dollar index here. Let's take a look. So dollar dipping a little bit below that 50 MA. Ultimately, a lot of amateurs will look at this and they'll say, oh, it's below the 50 MA. That means it's a sell. But you got to look at the weekly time frame. The weekly is more dominant. It's still above all four major moving averages, and this is a beautiful bullish pattern here on the dollar. So even if it does pull back a little bit, maybe to that 200 MA, I think it's just a buying opportunity if you are looking to enter the dollar index. Gold getting a nice bid as the dollar pulls back and as yields pull back. Nice little pop here. Speaking of which, we didn't talk about yields yet. Then we'll talk about gold. So the TNX here pulling back now. Let's pull this chart back a little bit. Let's go to this weekly. There we go. So right into that 200 MA. Again, I've talked about how I don't think this is a major resistance area, meaning it's not tradable. It doesn't mean it can't pull back off of that, but I wouldn't be a seller into this. So I think that yields probably pull back maybe into this trend line here. And same thing on the TYX, the 30-year. I think we pull back into this kind of breakout area here over the next couple of weeks, but ultimately yields will go higher. But as far as gold is concerned, gold is holding up right now with the dollar and yields lower. Nice little pop there. Silver also having a decent day. If we can clear this red bar high near term, we can go up to that 2350 area. Platinum getting a nice bid today too, and palladium as well. But again, palladium is just kind of a mess right now. Copper also bidding up nicely, just under 2% on the day. So it did hold this low here, but again, it's just range bound here. 451 and 434 is the range that it's in. If it gets through one of those, then we can talk about the other levels. All right. Let's talk Bitcoin really quick and cryptos. So Bitcoin getting a nice bid here. It's still inside of this red candle, but it is bidding up. So if it can close above that red candle, you can go attack this trend line and maybe that 20-day moving average. But for right now, it is still kind of just hanging in there, but it is coming off the lows. And by the way, look at the bounce on Bitcoin, and then look at the bounce on all those tech stocks that we talked about. Those tech stocks and a lot of these other stocks are really ripping higher, and Bitcoin's not really performing with them. So that's something to keep an eye on. It's definitely lagging right now. And again, I'm still not a fan of crypto moving forward here. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. My voice is probably about to break down. So yeah, so S&P here. Levels to watch: 470, 472, and then 474. That's what we're looking at on the SPY. Market's pulling back a little bit here. About 7 minutes left in the trading day here, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I do expect us to at least test that 472 handle on the SPY. Anyways, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.